Almost 2,500 people were granted Greek Cypriot passports between 2017 and 2019 through the Cyprus Investment Programme. But Greek-administered Cyprus has been found to have granted citizenship to convicted criminals, those under investigation, and people at high risk of being engaged in corruption, on a scale that some critics have said is indicative of a systemic problem. Issues surrounding the controversial investment program have resurfaced after a batch of approved applications were obtained by Al Jazeera's investigative unit, dubbed as the Cyprus Papers. Here are 5 things you need to know about the Cyprus investment program scandal. The Cyprus investment program allows people from anywhere in the world to purchase citizenship in Greek-administered Cyprus. Doing so will give them Cypriot passports, which provides holders with rights to live and work in the EU and travel freely to 174 countries without a visa. To obtain the passport, all you have to do is invest at least $2.5 million in Greek-administered Cyprus. Since the program began in 2013, applicants had to prove they had a clean criminal record, but the onus was on the applicant to provide their records, with no recognition or verification from authorities in their home countries. Facing criticism, the criteria for applicants was updated in 2019, banning those who had ever been investigated or faced criminal charges, and those with past criminal convictions. The new criteria also excludes applicants who may be elected or appointed government officials. Such people are classified as politically exposed persons, and the reasoning behind the decision is that those PEPs coming from poorer nations or countries with weaker law enforcement systems are likely to have engaged in corruption or the illegal use and disbursement of public funds. But the new rules are not retrospective, and those who have already obtained citizenship will not have theirs revoked. The European Commission, as well as a leading coalition against corruption, Transparency International, have leveled criticisms against the Greek Cypriot administration and have called for the phasing out of what they consider scandal-ridden golden visa schemes that have facilitated the laundering of stolen assets.
The government of Cyprus has previously admitted mistakes, committing to fix loopholes and to revoke citizenship from those who should not have been granted it in the first place. It has now been more than 2 years since the first golden visa scandals broke out, and yet we are still waiting for the Commission to deliver on its commitment and stop the EU from being a safe haven for the corrupt and criminal.
Many of those who have gained passports through the Cyprus investment program have had previous and ongoing run-ins with the law in their home countries. Al Jazeera obtained the Cyprus Papers and identified a number of them, including Leonardo Gonzalez Delan, who has been sanctioned by the US Treasury and labeled a frontman for the Venezuelan government. He's accused of laundering up to $2.5 billion. Yang Huiyan from China, who is thought to be Asia's richest woman and worth over $27 billion. Her husband and father are Chinese government officials, thereby classifying her as a PEP with a golden passport. And even Russian banker Alexei Kordachev, who is currently under house arrest in Russia under charges of embezzlement. He was approved for a passport despite the ongoing investigations and trials.